What's up, peeps? I'm back. This is Kimberly Purpoz, and welcome to my channel. Today I want to do another video about, I guess I'm not going to do relationships, but I want to talk about some women's issues and what's going on with the politics and everything, with President Donald Trump passing his new bill to get rid of funding, to make sure there's no federal funding for Planned Parenthood. This topic is pretty hot on YouTube, and I just thought I'll talk about it. I did not know much about Planned Parenthood. Well, I do. I guess in the past, when I was much younger, I have gone to a Planned Parenthood before. We referred to it. I think, it was referred to in school, believe it or not. The Planned Parenthood programs and stuff, they used to give out information and pamphlets on this, and also at the teen clinics that's in the indicator and everything. But that I think they still have it, but I guess they're gonna start doing away with that program. And but I guess they used to have it where they have I guess people to come out and educate kids in the community, especially low income kids or Black African American kids in the community about Planned Parenthood. It can range from being able to use condoms or any type of preventive ways on how to prevent unwanted pregnancies and everything. I'm not sure if they talked about abortion, but that was a long time ago, years ago. But anyway, I guess the topic is about abortion. And with abortion, I guess, let's see. Yeah, I did not know about this Planned Parenthood. That it just got me really, really thinking about it. I was looking at the Advice show on YouTube, and the host of that show, I love this channel. It's very informative, but gave me some, insightful information about the history of Planned Parenthood, and I knew it was a lot of Planned Parenthood centers all over the Black community, and the Hispanic community. I see a lot of them, but I didn't knowing the history and realizing what it's all about really hit home. I used to wonder why. Well, I thought that it was there to help, women, who are women, low-income women who have who are pregnant, or teens who might need some sort of assistance on learning and educating themselves about how to prevent unwanted pregnancy. But I'm actually finding I was totally different. Especially when I learned about the lady who was behind Planned Parenthood, Margaret Sanger. She is pretty much known as the person who's the founder of it. I guess it was during the 1920s. They say that Sanger founded the American Birth Control League, which later became Planned Parenthood, which later was called Planned Parenthood Federation of America. And I was, she was very racist back in the day, and she did not believe that African Americans should be able to procreate and have children. She was dead set against blacks being able to have children, and being able to multiply and pass on offsprings into the future generation. She was concerned about there being too many blacks and other minorities being in the United States back in the day, and so she developed this program to make sure that to have population control, especially among blacks. And I'm gonna do more research on this topic because I'm just now learning about it myself, and I just had an aha moment and coming to the realization what's been going on. I'm hearing about the higher numbers of African American women having abortions, more so than any group, in comparison to white women. So, especially since we only make up a smaller percent of the population. But I'm just learning about this. The only thing I think is, if this is true, and and I'm gonna do my own research on it. I might do a follow-up video on it because, I always wonder why they had so many of those centers in the black community, but I never really understood the gist of it until I've been reading up on it and hearing more videos. But I want to do a little bit more digging myself about this Margaret Sanger. What's her name? Margaret Sanger lady, who's the founder of it, and come to a conclusion about it, because that's really bothers me. That people could be so heinous. I also have some suspicions about children being born, our black children being targeted to injure our children during birth, because I think black women are very vulnerable during pregnancy as well. Even if they don't go through with the abortion, I think black women and Hispanic women are targets to have birth injuries at birth. I was one of them. My son has cerebral palsy, and doctors were very negligent with my son when I gave birth to him, and I sometimes wonder if I think I read an article. I'm gonna have to do more digging about how there's a disproportionate number of our black children having cerebral palsy, when cerebral palsy is a condition, especially a birth injury. But if it's done at birth, lack of oxygen to the brain, that's a very preventive. That particular injury is with this day and time, with the type of technology that we have now, very few. There should not hardly be any children born with cerebral palsy, because there's no excuse in that. And I believe also I believe that I'm starting to realize that maybe abortion is targeting blacks, and also maybe targeting. If a woman decides to go and have her child full term, I believe that our black children are at higher risk of having birth injuries due to the negligence of doctors. I don't know if it's planned or intentional, but it sure enough look like it, especially if we're a small percentage of the population, but there's a higher frequency of black children being born to cerebral palsy, especially our black boys, then that means that the doctors and hospitals may be targeting our African American children at birth. I do want to make people be more aware of that, or to, that may be a consideration as well. And it needs to be dug into, because that can be a serious problem as well, and make you wonder, why are they targeting us like that? When they're the majority, why is this happening? Why is this happening? But yeah. But I also wanted to talk about, if they're going to do this, do away with Planned Parenthood, what is going to be done for these women who, have to have these children? They might not want to become pregnant, but do become pregnant. What is going to be done to assist women to care for these children? Because I know they say women don't need to abort, women don't need to have abortions. I understand that. And my concern is when these babies are born, what can be done to assist these women? There need to be more programs available to assist women who are lower income, who have these children, and to have their babies, and what they can do to assist them. Because a lot of people are not married. Some people are not married. They're single moms and need help. And but I don't never hear any solutions on that end, because a lot of times they say no abortion and getting rid of reducing the access to birth control. Then what are you going to do about these mothers who have children? They weren't ready to have children. How are you going to help assist these women? What kind of programs you're going to have available and resources you're going to have available to them? But back to the kids with the birth injuries. I'm gonna do more research. I'm gonna do another video about that, because it hit home to me, because I actually experienced it firsthand. And I found the research that was done on that a few years ago. I gotta research it, see if I can dig for that article so I can reference it. I'm gonna do another video elaborating more on that. But that's my take on it. I just wanted to, just wondering what's going to be done there needs to be more programs to assist women who do have these more, because there are going to be more children being born to mothers that are not ready to have children, and what's going to be done about it, and what's going to be done to make men be more proactive and more involved in their child, besides paying only 25% of their income towards child support. Because that's not enough. That's going to take more than just paying a small amount of child support. I would, like to see a better option, to assist women, because it just doesn't seem like nothing is being done to assist women, because you're just throwing all this burden on her and not having no plans. There needs to be a program for this. Because it's a lot raising a child, especially if you're a single mom and you're low and don't really have much money and resources available to you, and the father don't want to have nothing to do with the mother or the child. That can really hit the woman pretty hard financially. And I think they need to look at that as well, because it's very limited resources for females. And when you take more things away from her, or more of the reproductive rights, then, I don't know. I just think that if they're going to do that, they need to have more condoms and more things, preventive measures in place to prevent unwanted pregnancy, more access to that. More education, more resources need to be available for that. And also on the back end, if a woman has a baby, what are they going to do about it to assist that woman? Because it's usually nothing there for her and she's lost. So I would love to see what you all think, because these are some serious issues. It's going to be a lot of children being born, and to women that are not ready to have children. And I guess my concern is what resources are going to be available to these women. And what is going to be done to make sure that men be more proactive in taking care of their kids, besides just paying, small chunk change to child support. Are they going to make men take their children and raise them too? Or what? Because it's like a slap on the wrist for the man, and a woman is stuck with the biggest burden, which is very one-sided. In my point of view. But I would like to see what you think, what you all think. You know, please like this video. Don't forget to subscribe and leave your comment below. Until next time, peace. Be blessed. Bye-bye.